So we are back with a brand new episode of Walkin Talkin with Tim, and my guest today is the one and only Carlee Myers, who hails from, wait, let's see if I can get this right, Williamsport, Maryland. Yeah, she lives in Philadelphia now, but originally from Williamsport, Maryland, and she is the founder of the Stress Less company. Letting that truck go by, so I got the name out when they could hear it. So first, before we go anywhere else, let's talk a little bit about, tell the world, Carlee, the world Carlee, tell the world exactly what it is the Stress Less company does.
All right, the Stress Less company helps people to reduce their stress and enhance their relationships using tools like the Stress Less method and safe conversations.
Was our conversation safe?
No. Absolutely. We had a great conversation leading up to this.
What was
interview.
the other portion of it? Was safe and
Healthy communication.
Healthy. We did have some very healthy communication.
Yes.
I feel I had healthy communication.
I think so. I think we did good at.
You're in charge of how you feel about your communication. You know?
Yeah.
So listen. So Carlee's got a lot of really cool things going on, and we're going to talk about them. We'll start with the fact that you came up here from Maryland. And you moved to Philly, and you went to, you said, Moore College for art.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do
Well, you would think.
with what you're doing. I don't think it does, but you tell me why.
Well, I got into art actually because I was struggling with PTSD and nightmares and stress. And shockingly, or maybe not so shockingly, we hear it all the time with veterans, it really helped me reduce my stress and find a sense of calm and contentment. And so, yeah, I decided, oh my gosh, you know what? It helped me so much. Maybe I'll help the world. You know, young,
There's nothing wrong with that.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah.
That I would help save the world with art. So I pursued a degree in curatorial studies, which is a fancy way of saying museum studies,
Wow.
and fine art. And yeah, I wrote my thesis on art making as a meditative practice, and graduated and realized that was just one tiny little piece of the puzzle.
Oh boy. So I did ask Carlee her 3 favorite hobbies, and they were gardening, canning, and art. And wait, so I argued that canning is really jarring.
It's true. It's true.
I think it might be true, but we did talk about it, and you told me that for a few months you actually made dog food.
I did, but it was not canned. Let me say, it was crock pot dog food.
There you go.
Very easy to make.
And what kind of dog did you have?
I had a Beagle Basset mix.
Ah, see? Just like me. So, all right, so the art part of that, right? You said was cool because you did burning, the wood burning, right? So you made the signs out of wood and all that good stuff, and you said that was a really cool little gig you had for a while.
Yeah.
So how did that help?
Oh my God. Well, it taught me. Well, it helped me in a couple ways. It helped me financially. I was in my early 20s, so you know, extra cash in the pocket's always good.
Yep.
Also, this idea that I could pursue this thing that made me happy in one way, shape, or form. I think it really helped me. It also introduced me to the idea of entrepreneurship, and that I could help people in unique and creative ways.
It's insatiable. It is. I mean, it's an addiction, right?
Entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because once your brain goes, it just keeps coming up with ideas.
Well, you said when you were, was it 20? How old were you when you started all this?
2017, I got my official LLC, but I started before then.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been in business 7.5 years now, but with the Stress Less company. But before then, I was dabbling in other.
Well, you said you worked a lot. You worked the 80-hour weeks when you were in your 20s, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I would say I love to work, but I did. I worked a couple jobs, and I also did my business on the side. So I was putting in the hours.
I just gave away that she's not in her 20s anymore. just this much though. So then, right? So I thought we talked about a lot of things. We did talk about family, right?
We did.
So I don't know how much you want to talk about, but you say this is part of the job, right? You do bring this up a lot because it's important to you.
Yeah.
And it's deep, you know. You had a really, really traumatic experience when you were a kid. You can talk about it, not talk about it, doesn't matter. But it's up to you. But I think that, you know, what you've been through, I think I feel like from talking to you for an hour and a half now, I feel like kind of puts you where you are in life. And I think it landed you right here in the spot right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say that's true?
I said what I said earlier in our conversation. I think when you put the dots together, they make sense. Everything kind of, I would say like things all happen for a reason. Everything, leads you to where you're supposed to be.
100%.
Yeah.
And you said that you have a sister, Candace, that's still in the Maryland area.
Yep, West Virginia technically, but yeah.
West Virginia. And that's cool, right? Did you get to talk to her a lot?
Yeah, every now and again, I'm going to be going back to visit for my niece and nephew's 11th birthday in July. So.
Are you a cool aunt? Are you the cool aunt?
I think I'm a cool aunt. I hope I'm a cool aunt. I don't know. They have another aunt that's pretty cool. She's also a big city gal in Pittsburgh. So
right.
I got some steep competition.
So all right, so we did also talk about on the lighter side of things. We did talk about what was the coolest place you've ever gone?
Well, we had two answers to that. I had Germany, which was it was beautiful, but because I'm German, there was a beautiful connection for me, like a connection to culture.
Right.
And then New Hampshire and Vermont are just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I've only been to Vermont, and I can back that one up for sure. But Germany, you said that the architecture was good. You're mad at me. The architecture was cool, and you had such a connection that you saw like faces on the buildings, like you saw like eyes and frowns and things like that. Because, but that comes with the art, right? Like, I mean, how can you not sit there with burning stuff in the wood and not see shapes?
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, if you went there, you would see it. You would see it. It's so clear. They've got these like two oddly shaped, they look like eyeballs, like these two windows, and then they've got the frame, like ornate framing, and it looks like a face. So yeah, highly recommend the facial architecture of Germany.
The facial architecture of Germany. Now, so to describe what we just went through today, you had two really cool words. Do you remember what they are?
Creative intellectualism.
So these two words came out. I said, remember those words, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So that's basically, in my mind, what you're all about, right? You know, like when we're walking and talking, and you're, see how I did that? So when we're walking and talking,
dropping the brand in
I
there,
just drop it in there, and you talk about what you do, not just at work, but you talk about all the stuff that you do and how it all intertwines.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so, talk a little bit about. You said you're kind of, a little bit of a reinvention mode.
Yeah.
A little crossroads.
Yeah.
So tell the folks about that.
Yeah, well, creative intellectualism. You asked me earlier, like what my passion is.
Yeah.
And I think that is what fuels the passion, the exploration of ideas and concepts, and like the inner artist in me. Like everything is art. Everything is art. Like this road is art. This conversation is art. This video is art. Like everything's art. If you go to art school, you'll understand. And so this reinvention is about like, it's almost like
the relationships are art.
Relationships are art. Takes two to tango. Takes two to talk. Takes
any person that you meet,
you're making art with them.
It's a true story.
Yeah, it's true. Sort of like I'm at this point in my business and life where I've overworked my painting, and I need to step back. And I want to look at the painting and give it a little bit of breathing room and decide what needs to stay and what I could throw some white gesso.
I think you're going to flip the canvas.
Rip the canvas off.
You're going to flip it over and you're going to paint on the other side.
Oh, that feels like a sin. I don't know why, but my inner art critic. Oof, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think what you do is cool. I mean, I think that it must be I said this earlier, and I think that it must be really gratifying to do this job and help people who are stressed out. I mean, for Lord knows, there's probably nobody watching this that doesn't know that I suffer from social anxiety. And hard to believe, isn't it? But it's true. And listen, it's been a long time. It's been since I was about 20 years old. I'm 55. I'm getting up there. So, it's not something that just goes away. For some folks to get really lucky and it might fade, but most of us, if you got it, you got it. But you help people through those ebbs and flows of anxiety. So talk a little bit about how you help them.
Yeah, so I help people through conversation, right? So we talk about two people making art together. I do coaching, and so I help people manage their stress, reduce their anxiety through something called the stress less method.
Yep.
And all the intricacies along the way. So I have 3 steps in that method that we work through. The first step is disengage from stress, which is all about taking a step back. Speaking of which,
pull the plug.
I don't know about pull the plug, but if you've got an overworked canvas that's stressing you out, a muddy painting, if you will. I'm stuck on this analogy now.
I know.
Take a step back, take a breather, so that you can get this important part of the brain back online, the prefrontal cortex. That's the first step. The second step is to identify your blocks. So what are the ways in which you've been subconsciously self-sabotaging or creating suffering?
What's holding you up?
Yeah.
What are you hanging on to that's not letting you slide down the slide and just enjoy it?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And then the third step is to transform your relationships with those blocks. I'm the first to acknowledge that a lot of us, we create these blocks or these unhealthy coping mechanisms from challenging situations. We were talking about hypervigilance before we...
Yeah.
Right? That's something that was a tool that we learned to survive, and it worked at some point, and at some point, for some of us, it stops working.
Yeah.
And so we learn to reinvent our relationship with that part of ourselves. It's not like it's going to go away.
I was going to say that with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not like it's going to go away overnight. If you've ever read the book The Body Keeps the Score, it's hardwired into us in many ways for survival. It'd be stupid for us to forget these really important coping mechanisms.
Right.
But we need to, in order to find a sense of contentment or that beautiful state of mind, we need to
push it out.
Well, we could say, hey, I'm the driver here. You guys
exactly.
You're back here. I see you.
You gotta take that thing and go, you over here for now, and I'm taking over.
Yeah.
The part of you that you like, right? Mm-hmm. The part of you that you feel comfortable moving forward with, because I find that even just myself that, I gotta take over once in a while. I find that thing's taken over, like you said, you're on autopilot. And you got to turn off autopilot and go, no, I'm going to drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. It can be, right? So like if that's the block, if hypervigilance is the block, for instance, which we share.
Yeah.
Then it's about saying, whoa, hold on a second. For me, it would look like transforming my relationship with hypervigilance looks like, well, let me describe hypervigilance first. So for me, hypervigilance looks like always waiting for the other shoe to drop, scanning my environment for danger, whether it's social or physical. Right? And so to transform my relationship with that block, I'm not going to say, no, you should never do that. Obviously, it's helpful to do that. But I may also consciously make the decision to look for the good things.
Yeah.
To look for where things are going right, because I've been wired. I've wired myself from trauma, whatever, to look for the things that aren't so great.
And that's what it's all about. Looking for the good stuff, right?
Finding the good stuff in life.
Finding the good stuff in life. So if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
You can find me just about everywhere at The Stress Less Co.
The Stress Less Co.
Yep.
Right. Okay, cool. So if you want to find Carlee, you know where to do it. Keep on watching. Keep on moving. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And we will see you next time on Walkin' and Talkin'. Hit it.
With Tim.
With Tim. Peace.